2020 City of Columbia Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. My name is Chuck Sally, and I serve as chair of the board. And serving with me today on the board to my far left is John Gregory, followed by George Schaefer, Gene Dinkins, Marcellus Primus, and then on my far right, Josh Speed. I'd also like to introduce the staff that'll be assisting us tonight at the table. Rachel Bailey, Zoning Administrator, Hope Hasty, the Deputy Zoning Administrator, Andrea Wolf, and Erica Hyen are also in the room helping out today. The board is charged with hearing applications for special exceptions, variances, and administrative appeals. All testimony is recorded for the record, and anyone wishing to speak will need to be sworn in at the podium to speak. No testimony may be taken from the floor. When you come to the podium, state your name and please speak clearly into the microphone because this meeting is being recorded. Applicants with cases before the board are allotted a presentation time of 10 minutes. This time also includes all persons presenting information on behalf of the applicant. The time limit does not include questions asked by the board or staff regarding the case, and any member of the public may address the board in intervals of 3 minutes or 5 minutes if a spokesperson for an established body of 3 or more people. The applicant then has 5 minutes for rebuttal. The board reserves the right to amend these limits on a case-by-case basis. For those of you who plan to speak, you must be sworn. So if you're here as an applicant or here to speak in any case, please stand at this time and raise your right hand. Do you affirm or attest that the testimony you will give today is the truth and nothing but the truth? Thank you. This time I'll turn the meeting over to Ms. Bailey.
The Board of Zoning Appeals uses the consent agenda to approve non-controversial or routine matters by a single motion and vote. The member of the board or the general public wants to discuss an item on the consent agenda, that item is removed and considered during the meeting. The board then approves the remaining consent agenda items. Your consent agenda today has 2 items. You have the approval of the February 11th, 2020 minutes. And item number 2 is case 2020-0014 for 100 Sparkleberry Crossing Road. This is a special exception to permit a drive-through facility for a pharmacy.
Does anyone on the board or in the audience want 100 Sparkleberry Road removed from the consent agenda? I'll accept the motion then.
I'd like to make a motion. We approve the consent agenda subject to staff comments.
A second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, Mr. Dinkins has recused himself from item number 3 and item number 4. Item number 3 on the regular agenda is case 2020-0007 for 5744 Farrow Road, TMS 11713 0240 0205 and 0207. This is a special exception to establish an automotive repair use. I'm not sure if the applicant is present. I don't see them, so it's at the board's discretion if you want to discuss the case now or move it to the end of the.
We move it to the end of the thing. We need to make a motion on that.
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion that we just move this to the end of the agenda today and see if the applicant shows up.
A second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
All right. Item number 4 is case 2020-0013. This is for 1000, 1010, and 1014 Lady Street and 1218 Park Street. This is a variance to the off-street parking requirement for a hotel use. The applicant is present on this one and is welcome to come forward.
Leighton Lord with Nexon Pruitt. I'm the attorney for the applicant. Mr. Chairman and board members, thank you. We've got a lot of people here that can either come up and answer questions or not at your discretion, but I'm going to give a brief overview of the project and what we're talking about, and I'll tell you who's here in case you want to pull them up. This is for a hotel at Cambria, which is an upscale urban concept. There's one in Rock Hill, Charleston, a couple around, one in Asheville. This will be the first one in Columbia. It's going to be in the corner of Park and Lady, which is currently, as you can see, surface parking, and every time I walk by it, it's vacant surface parking. It's going to be 144 rooms, 4 stories. It's going to have a restaurant bar, which is going to sort of be on Lady Park coming in on the corner. It's a forward-facing bar concept. I'm personally excited about this because it's 3.5 minutes from my office. And we have a hard time putting people that need to walk to Main Street and also go to the Vista. It's getting better, but it's been a challenge. The variance application before you all today is for parking. Currently, we are required to do 72 surface parking spots. And the variance application is so that we can do 38 parking spots. And we believe the first requirement of a variance that it meets the extraordinary and exceptional requirement because of, one, the slope. There's an 8-foot slope on this 1-acre parcel that makes it very hard to configure. Also the size, it's only 1 acre. Fire code, we're going to fully comply with the shade tree ordinance. And finally, the height requirements. If we stay under 4 feet, which is something that's very important to the Vista Neighborhood Association and the Vista Guild, we're constrained on what we can do as far as surface parking. Second, this doesn't apply to a bigger parcel or a parcel with less slope, so we don't feel like it would apply, or a suburban location. Third, how does the zoning ordinance prohibit or constrain us? One of those is the height requirements, shade tree, and other health and safety requirements that we're complying with actually cut back on the amount of parking you can have on the location. Fourth, whether or not it will adversely affect the neighborhood, we would argue that this would be positive for the neighborhood. Casey Germunder, who's with Choice and Cambria, is here today. We met with the Vista Guild and the Vista Neighborhood Association, and I don't want to speak for them because they're here. Bart Worthen's here from the Neighborhood Association. I don't know if anyone's here from the Guild. But their general comment, and they've both given letters of support for this variance in your package, their general comment was, could you do less parking? They feel like there's too much surface parking in this area of the Vista, and they wondered if we could do less. We felt like 38 was the right amount of parking to do for this. So the neighborhood is in support of less parking in this area, and they're also happy that the applicant is meeting the height requirements and also the shade tree ordinance. And this whole project will face Park and Lady, so all the parking is going to be hidden behind it. So aesthetically, it's going to very much improve this corner. Finally, this is the minimum necessary to do the project. The project doesn't work without this on this 1 acre parcel at 4 stories. And it's the only ask of this body or any other body as far as exceptions. And finally, is it in harmony with the ordinance? We believe it is, because one, the ordinance allows you to look at other parking, and one of the exhibits in the application shows the amount of parking at 400 and 600. This is an extremely parking dense, there it is, an extremely parking dense part of Columbia. There is abundant parking. The applicant would tell you, if you want to talk to them, that many of their locations for this brand have no parking. They don't believe that this concept, people Uber from the airport, people can park on the street, lots of opportunities, but 38 spaces may be too many ultimately for this, but they're willing to do that to sort of give this a start. Again, those are the 6 points that you all require for a variance. We feel like we meet all of those fairly easily. And Casey Germunder is here from Choice Cambria if you have any questions about the concept, about the project. David Anderson and Mary Beth Brannon from LS3P, the architects, are here. They've designed this. They can talk about the slope and the constraints of the site if you want to go into that. And Doug Miller from Highside is here to address sort of the construction project issues if you want to talk to those. So,
Yeah, I do have a question regarding the typical Cambria Hotel parking ratio exhibit.
I'll let Casey come up and...
Okay. So my question, you've got location, keys, on-site parking spaces, and then the ratio. What is the keys? Is that the,
Number of hotel rooms.
so that's the requirement of the
It's the number of
zoning?
rooms on the site relative.
I'm sorry, is it
It's the number of hotel rooms.
hotel rooms, got it. Perfect. That's all I
How do
needed.
you, as a hotel, how do you handle parking when it exceeds the number of spaces in your lot?
So we can either have off-site parking, so street parking, and in certain cases when we need it, we'll offer a valet.
Any other questions from the board? Is there anyone in the audience here to speak for or against this application? I see none. Board discussion? I think that, I think the applicant has demonstrated that they qualify for this, what are we looking at here? Excuse me. Yeah, variance requests on the parking, and, I would make a motion that we approve this request, subject to stipulations in the application by staff and based on the written and spoken testimony here today by the applicant.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
All right. We will move on to case 2020-0015. This is for 625 and 615 Whaley Street. Tax map number 08913-13-05 and 06. This is a special exception to establish a convenience store. The applicant is welcome to come forward.
Chairman, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to come back before you. I think we were here about a year ago. At this point in time, my client operates a convenience store adjacent to the properties in question. We have met at length over the last year and have reached an accord with all the neighborhood associations to the best of my knowledge. The parties have agreed that the present building that makes up the convenience store will be removed. It'll be torn down. The gasoline pumps will remain. The two houses, which were alleged to be historical, will be donated to the community associations. They will remove those houses to some other location. The building will be a convenience store, which will be in accord with the plans you previously saw, which is designed architecturally to conform to the neighborhood and to be something that should be aesthetically pleasing. The store is well-designed, architecturally well laid out. It should be something that will be a major addition to the community. It should certainly be something that would not detract from the aesthetic nature. The removal of the present building on the premises is something which ought to also improve the aesthetics of the neighborhood. My understanding is there now is absolutely no community opposition. The location is certainly proper for the convenience store. It's zoned for one. We understand under the law we have to have a special exception for any convenience store such as this. So we have made the application and really see no reason why it should not be granted. We thank you for the opportunity to appear here and are willing to answer any questions you may have.
So, and just to clarify for the board, moving permits and building permits for the foundation for the movement of the houses have already been issued. They may have already been moved or are about to be moved.
So is it correct, I read, so the store on the lot is next to these two homes, so they're actually moving from that store?
What's happening
Tell us
is
a little bit about that.
the present store is located next to the two homes. The present store was probably built in about 1902. It's not very attractive. We're going to basically remove the unattractive store that is there now. The last time we were here, the questioning was, well, what are you going to do with the old store? And the answer was, we're going to try to turn it into retail space. At this point in time, we met with the community associations, and we agreed that we would simply take it down. And so what you will do is, where you see the first White House, you see the canopy, you see the first White House, that is basically where the store is going to go. And then the other lot will either be used for some other commercial purposes in the future or parking, and it will be certainly in accord with the other commercial structures which are in the vicinity. It's a win-win for everybody.
Definitely looks like that this plan improves the vehicle access and in and out, egress, ingress, and things like that, that should be beneficial to the area for sure. Aesthetically, it's going to be a lot better looking as well. I have a curiosity question. Where are the houses going?
I have no idea. The community association wants them, and they can certainly have them. We're delighted to have them haul them off. We hope they go somewhere that they want them and hope they enjoy using them.
They're nearby.
I expect we'll find out. Any other questions from the board to the applicant?
Just a clarification question on the plan that I'm looking at. You're going to have 2 points of ingress and egress, one off of Whaley and one off of the side street there.
That would be my understanding, yes, sir. This is a whole lot better traffic pattern than we have right now.
Yeah. And is there a particular, is it still going to be the Sunoco brand, or is there a particular brand that?
I see no reason for us to change the brand. Okay. We do plan to continue with a national brand product. The store will be first class. It'll be something that will be as nice as anything in Columbia for a convenience store, and it would be. My clients have been in the C-store business for a long time, and almost everything they have, I think, runs a national brand. Sunoco brand is well received. I don't see any reason for us to change. We have a tremendous relationship with our supplier, and we've been Sunoco forever.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jake. Is there anyone else in the audience here to speak for or against this application?
Joe Weeder. I'm with the Granby Neighborhood Association, and I'm also with the Mill District Alliance, and I'm here to support the developer's application. We're pleased. Over the past year, we've gotten together and we came up with a letter of agreement, which was not an applicable document for this group. But I'm here to say that we agree to the terms of that contract, and we're pleased with the agreements and decisions that we've made. The houses will be moved back. If you were to exit the back of those lots, coming along the ball field, there's a neighborhood right to the left where there are some other homes that are cottage types, that where it should as infill to homes that are actually part of that part of Catawba Street was destroyed by the railroad right-of-way. They had moved a lot of those homes, so they're going to fit those in and recreate that side of Catawba Street again, down Church. So it's be nice to have a nice addition to the neighborhood, since those homes were never seen as part of the Granby or the mill overlays. So it'll be nice to have them back, and we can take good care of them. So we're very pleased, and we're looking forward to working with the developers and the architect as they further their plans. We're going to get together and take a look-see, and historic preservation is going to be involved as well. So I think we're looking at a successful outcome for everyone.
Great.
Okay,
Thank you so much for your testimony. Anyone else? Any board discussion?
I actually just drove by here this weekend, this past weekend, and was thinking about this corner. So I'm was glad to see this on the agenda. Something that'll look good.
I think it's certainly an improvement. You've got an existing convenience store, gas station operating there now, and certainly it's an improvement with the support of the neighborhood and the new store, and it's not like it's going to be a proliferation because the other one's going away. I think it's a good plan. Sounds good.
I personally am very pleased with this plan. It is far superior to the original application that we looked at, and my kudos to the ownership for making this happen, because I'm telling you, this is night and day compared to what it was going to be, and I think that it's going to end up being a much better investment for you as well. So definitely an improvement in access and safety, in the aesthetics of the neighborhood, and I see no reason why we wouldn't approve this application. So I'd like to make a motion, if there's no further discussion, I'd like to make a motion that we approve this application subject to the comments of staff based on the testimony and spoken and written testimony here today.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
All right, so and the applicants are here for item number 3, so we can circle back to that one. Case 2020-0007 for 5744 Farrow Road. Mr. Dinkins will. So, and the applicant's welcome to come forward.
How y'all doing?
Well, thank you. How are you today?
Fine.
Please state your names.
Arthur Morant Sr. and I'm Arthur Morant Jr.
Thank you. So y'all going into business?
Yes, sir. Well, we already in business. I've been on Farrow Road for 26 years at 5739, which is right across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And, the conditions that I've been working in the last 10, 15 years, it's time for a new change. We've been got ourselves in a position with some investors to put in a new body shop for the community, and some future plans as putting a retail store where the house is located at.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're trying to get that developed too. So we want to start out with the body shop. He's come along pretty good in my footsteps, so I want to make a foundation for him as well.
You're right. Forgot to that y'all came in late. I beg your pardon. So, if you please raise your right hand. Do you affirm or attest that the testimony you'll give today is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You're familiar with the criteria that this board is charged with going by in order to grant special exceptions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I know that you filled this out, but just from a thing, I mean, what do you envision from a standpoint of vehicular access into the property and the kind of traffic that y'all would be expecting to get there? And would it have an adverse impact, do you think, on the area?
Well, I don't think it'll have a lot of impact. We don't have a whole lot of traffic coming in and out of our parking lot. Usually we have customers that stop in, they're only there usually between 10 to 20 minutes to get a price quote. Most of our parking will be used with customers' vehicles that we store in the shop. So we were hoping to at least use the present entranceway and then make space and parking for future plans to put the retail store in. We was going to remove that house that's there, and then it'll only be the shop building for now, but in the future we were hoping to put, I think, what it was, a 4,000 square foot retail building, hopefully to have 3 to 4 tenant spaces in it.
And that's not planned immediately, that's future planning, right?
Right now, the biggest plan is the body shops, and that's the business that's we're into. Just talking with the community. We got a real good relationship with the community, so we want to stick with the body shop, and we're going to have parking access because we deal with insurance companies. So we'll have access in the back to store cars where they won't be visible from the road. We're going to fix the lot up real nice. One of the retail stores we were planning retail spaces that we was planning to use is actually supposed to be more of a student school-based type thing, where we was looking at hopefully training people that I know or people that come and want to seek out learning how to do auto body skills and painting and stuff like that. I have a lot of friends that I deal with on the weekends. They learn stuff from me as I work on their cars. So I can't remember her name. One of the people we spoke with a few months ago suggested that we look at opening up some type of mentorship program for maybe the youth or something like that in one of the retail locations. They also suggested to us maybe a convenience store, a grocery store. So we actually looking at our options there on the retail spaces, but for now we looking at the body shop. We need the special exception to put the body shop there. As he previously stated, we've been in business for 27 years. And, we just kind of just wanting to improve over there. That space has been empty and run down for as long as I can remember. I'm only 27 years old, and that space has always looked the same. So we got the opportunity to get the space and maybe possibly beautify that corner also while fixing up our current location. And we just looking to improve, that's all.
And you're aware of the 6 stipulations in the application, that the comments by staff about the construction and operation to be in substantial conformance with applicant and supporting materials submitted by the applicant and shall conform with all relevant city development regulations, including but not limited to fire and building code, and no operation of a junk, scrapyard, abandoned, derelict, inoperable, or dismantled vehicles shall be stored on site or on adjacent parcels or in the right-of-way. No outdoor storage or sales will be permitted on site. All automotive repairs will take place inside the building, and the 3 lots will be combined into 1 lot, and following vacancy, abandonment, or discontinuance of this use for a period of 12 consecutive months, the special exception would be expired.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we understand that.
I have a question, and it may, just where you guys currently are, I guess, couldn't get a way to make that situation work, that existing structure.
Well, I don't own that particular building, and it just came to the point where he don't want to go up on the rent owners, but he don't want to put the money into the building to make it workable anymore. The day we've been sweeping water out the door all day, trying to work on customer calls. So, like I said, I got Dr. Gary Koger, the eye doctor. He's backed us a whole lot the last 2 years, and he's pushed us in the right direction for a new building.
I have a question too. Did Gene draw this site plan for you? I'm sorry. I just had to do it.
He surveyed it.
And with the way that they're developing, or going to develop Fair Road, we want to get a jump on it. I think we can bring more jobs to the community too, because people coming in every day asking us to train them. So it's what we do, so I think it'll be a big inspiration for them to see us. Some of the business owners, like when we go to the community meetings now, feel kind of funny because I'm the only one there, but everybody's coming from everywhere else. So I think if I can make this move, it might push them to step in.
Well, I think that based on the involvement of this community, they must trust y'all pretty much because there's not one soul here, and they usually fill the place up. So that's good. And I did mention this is a new venture for y'all, isn't it? It's not y'all are currently working at another shop, and now this is starting your own business.
Well, it's the current shop we own. It's his shop, but he's leasing the building.
Oh, gotcha.
He's basically
Gotcha.
been
So
leasing
you're a tenant in that building, and you're going to own this one.
Yeah,
I
for the
understand.
last 27 years we've been a tenant, so now we're making a step to move forward and move forward in that process and owning that actual space and property.
I understand that.
I have a question. How many are on your staff total? I mean,
Right
how many
now,
people working for you?
It's more like family right now. I got 2 guys that I had to kind of cut back on till we can get this done. So me and him been working 24/7 to tie up the loose ends. So we're gonna have a total of 6.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we discussed with Mr. Garrett having a total of 6, but in the future, hopefully hiring more if the shop is equipped to handle it. Also, like I was saying, with the mentorship program, we was also actually having that be something where we have our workers work hands-on with the trainees and stuff like that. I did tech school, and my dad, he's kind of been in it for, 35 years now? About 35 plus years. So like I said, we're just looking to try something different and grow the business more as far as making it more staple in the community and having that to offer to people if they want to come. One of the things we also talked to a lady about was prisoner reforms. We have a lot of people who they make the wrong decisions, and sometimes they don't have nowhere to go or nothing to do, so they fall back into that. Well, we thought maybe we could offer them the skill of working on cars, learning how to change a tire, or maybe doing some tune-up work or doing some paint work, and maybe that'll keep them on a different path versus going back to what choices they have.
And you're going to take a lot of business away from AAA if you get people changing their own tires.
But we see that a lot. We see that a lot in our community. So it's kind of, you got to turn people away because of the conditions. Then we turn away a lot of work because of the conditions. We got people come from Atlanta, Charlotte, all over, but we got to turn them away now because of the conditions. The equipment, we don't have the room. I mean, we'll be going into a brand new building, turnkey and walk in if this is approved. So, like I said, the investor called me yesterday and asked me how did the meeting go. I said, no, the meeting tomorrow. So they pretty much, ready. They just waiting on us.
We actually do have a more official site plan in the works. It's in the works. We just was trying to figure out what we was going to be doing.
It's actually not bad. It kind of illustrates what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, biggest thing with this is going to be a fun adventure because we're doing what we like to do.
It's our first, like you said, it's our first time going at it this way. Hopefully, we can get it all done and keep moving forward with it.
Awesome. Well, there's no one in here to ask if they want to speak. Is there any questions from the board? Very good. I would like to make a motion that we approve this request for a special exception based on the written and spoken testimony of the applicant and subject to all stipulations by staff.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
All right, we appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Good luck,
Thank
gentlemen.
you guys, we appreciate that. Is this ours? Oh. Thank
All
you.
right.
Y'all have a nice afternoon.
So it's election time. I'm going to do it a little bit differently this year. I'm stealing the format from the way Planning Commission did it. They kind of did ballots. So what we can do is just if people would like to speak up and nominate themselves or nominate someone else, I will write the nominees down on these ballots. I will hand them out to you and collect them and count up the votes. So if anyone wants to make a nomination,
I'd like to nominate Chuck to serve as our chair.
What is the term?
it would go. It's 12 months, so it would go until next March. Or Chuck rotates off in September. So if he's elected and he rotates off, we would hold an election at that time when the vacancy came.
I do rotate off this September, right, 2020?
Yes. You have 5 more years. Is that it? I don't even need to write these names down.
I'd like to nominate Gene as the vice chair.
For vice, okay.
Yeah, is that the only 2 positions?
Chair and vice chair.
I'll just double both of those.
Okay, so we only have 1 nominee for chair and 1 nominee for vice chair. Going once,
Want to pass out the ballots?
going twice. I don't necessarily feel like I need to write these down. Does anyone have any strong objections? So if not, we can just do a motion and do it the old way instead of passing out ballots, or we can just
Let's go for it.
call it. But if someone wants to make a motion for chair and vice chair, we'll go from there. Probably not Chuck or Jean since you're nominated.
I'd like to make a motion to have Chuck serve as chair and Gene serve as vice chair.
Second.
Aye.
Well, I will see you all first Thursday of April at 4 o'clock. So we'll get used to this new
thank you very
time.
much.
All right.
And I guess motion to adjourn.
Yeah, do we need to close?
Okay, I don't have anything else to do either, right? Signed everything?
Did anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.